Good morning. This is the GGWP podcast. That's wrong, isn't it? It's GGWP.
It's a redundant. It's like ATM machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
People do that on accident. This is GGWP, Geeks Game, whatever podcast. It's just Dre on the left. We got
Taylor on the right.
And we're in the land of California where everything's just been shaking. So what's shaking today for you?
Oh shit, look at that transition.
Yeah, we've had, seriously, 10 earthquakes. Okay, we've had one big earthquake on Friday. At least there's literally been 10 aftershocks. Have you looked at
aftershocks? Is that on the news? Like 50-something aftershocks have been going on in the past.
I know. I felt at least like a good 7 of them. I woke up this morning with an aftershock.
Really? What time? Because
It was about 8 o'clock.
Okay, I didn't wake up. Was I wake up for that? No.
I actually woke up before you. Are you kidding me?
What? No, I was up 7 in the bathroom. And
never mind. Let me put you back in your place. I was up at 7 doing stuff. I didn't feel the earthquake because I was actually busy. I was lying in bed, obviously, and the earthquake woke me up. We had not the big one. So the big one's coming.
You
obviously,
think so?
Yeah, man. That dude, 10 or 50 earthquakes in a weekend. That's a sign.
Which means, kids, get your games done out of the way. You don't want to die with the backlog.
Seriously, I was actually playing a game. I was playing League of Legends actually while one of the aftershocks. So I had actually typed before the match today, if I AFK, this is why. And then you got people saying troll, like, nah, fuck you. I don't care more about my life than this game. I'm just letting you guys know that
blasphemy.
Up and leave.
Blasphemy. More about your life in the game. League of Legends.
Man. I can lose League of Legends match and feel okay, man. Because we had a friend who posted, a mutual friend of ours posted a message that said, RAP monitors.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
and from what I recall, he had 226 BENQ monitors? No, it wasn't those. It was the handsets.
They were not cheap monitors, you're trying to say.
Yeah, they're 26. They were actually cheap-ish. They're great quality, but if you got other monitors the same size, it would be much more expensive. He still, at least at the time, probably put down $300 for each, and the earthquake took him out. So
casualties of war,
yeah,
or the earthquake war.
And I did a quick roundabout of mine. Yeah, I made out. Nothing broke. Nothing had hitting the ground. Everything was in its place. But
my monitors, my computer, they're close to the wall, so if they fall back, then they're not going to go anywhere. Yeah, so I'm lucky there.
But we were getting pictures of cars upside down.
What?
Ceiling panels. I'm actually looking forward to going to work on Monday to see if everything's still in its same place. But but this is GGWP once again. Trey and Taylor, where we do it live every week. That's the idea, at least. It left. This is like the last week on Earth, and if that's the case, then it's good. But let's go straight into the question of the week. So. Yesterday, I was playing Final Fantasy 13 Lightly Returns, and I had finally beat one of those fucking side bosses that you just keep losing to. You actually have to look it up because there's no rhyme or reason why you can't beat it. Mm-hmm. So I beat one, and I felt semi-accomplished or something. I was sitting there seriously yelling, "Yeah, what up now, bitch? What up now?" Because that was my 10th time fucking playing it, and that was just so frustrating. 10th time that day. Okay, right, I've actually been playing it for a week, and I I play it and fuck it, I'm gonna do this later, play it again, do this later. I finally fucking beat it. And it was a struggle. It really was a struggle. And I felt accomplished with it. That being said, what is one of your biggest gaming accomplishments you can ever think of? You play this
boss
game,
battle or
not necessarily boss battle, just accomplishment. I can go on one of my biggest accomplishments was finding the second world in Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World. Do you remember that? So,
the one where it's all
everything's just
all outrageous and everything, and the coin spell words.
Yeah,
that one.
You fly and I was like, oh, you found the secret area.
Yeah,
and everything's all topsy turvy. That was just because I didn't know it existed. I was was doing something and I was like, oh shoot, what's going on? And so when I finally got to there, it was like, whoa! Oh shit! I'm in a whole new world. It was just
a good one,
and I felt accomplished because it was the first time I played it. I didn't know it existed. I'm just going through this game, and I think I flew over one of those little over the cross line, and then it just kept going. And I was like, wait, what's going on? I'm just and I'm still going, and all of a sudden it spelled that out. So to me, it was just like, hey, you've unlocked the super duper secret level. And it was like, does anyone else know about this? This is pre-internet, so
Yeah.
And this was like, the only way you would know is like if you picked up one of those Nintendo magazines and it said,
read it. It's like,
by the
do
way,
this. Shit.
I know I caught you off guard. Another one
This is one of those questions where like you
really have to put some thought into it.
You have I've been happy beating games.
Yeah.
I've been accomplished beating games. Shit. It either has to be, I don't know, because some of the things I'm accomplished that I think accomplished, they're easy to do, but other people, my friends, couldn't do it.
Oh yeah. Like I said, like beating that fucking boss today, I looked it up and everyone's like, "What? This is the easy strategy." And I was like,
oh, "Shut up!"
Yeah. If it was that easy, no one would have to put the fucking strategy in the first fucking place.
Okay, so mine, shit.
Okay, let me think.
Okay, I have one, and it's something I mentioned before. I mentioned it in the past podcast. It's the only thing I can really think offhand was finding the rainbow armor in Chrono Trigger. It's the one where I mentioned before it was a time travel. It has to do with time travel. So in the past, you have to repair a castle, but not pick up any treasure.
Yeah.
And then you go in the future, and all the treasure's been upgraded to the best rainbow. Like I think it's rainbow or something. But a lot of my friends couldn't do it, and I did it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, I did it." And everyone's, "Oh, how'd you do it?" I'm like, "Did you use Game Genie?" I'm like, "No, I use Game Genie. I just played it." And I guess honestly that doesn't seem that big of a deal, but in a circle of friends, when you can do something that your friends can't, and you have something that above them, and they're trying their hardest to do it, that is what.
Yeah, no, that's an accomplishment. No, I hear you. Like, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal in retrospect when you look at it. It's like, I could have cured cancer or something, but it's something like it's just like you. Once it happens, you're just like,
especially it's like in the gaming community when you're playing a multiplayer game and you're last place, you're doing crappy. But then you get that one awesome kill on like the first place person, and they're like, "Oh, you got me, whatever. You killed my streak." You're like, "Okay, that's an accomplishment." Like, you feel good about that. Like, at least I did that.
You could even lose. You're like, "Yeah, I died. Happy shit."
Yeah, I killed your streak. You ain't got nothing.
I can actually. So this is another one. This wasn't a huge accomplishment, but I wish I could share this. Like back, if it's like Let's Play videos were bigger then, like I would be able to share this. But I got a double headshot with a sniper in a Battlefield Bad Company. Like from another mountain away.
Really?
Double headshot. I was like, there was one guy who was sitting there and he was sniping people. So I was counter sniping at this point.
Yeah.
Because he was up on a mountain, so I was up on a mountain. And in Battlefield Bad Company, when you snipe people, it wasn't like you just put the trigger on them and snipe. You had to account for gravity. So
hold your breath too. I hate having to hold the breath.
I don't think you had to do it in Battlefield Bad Company 2 yet. You didn't have to hold your breath, but you had to crouch down and account for gravity. So I did that, and right before it hit him, this guy ran right in front of him.
Really?
Took him out because he had spawned on his mate. Took him out and took the other guy out. And it said "Savior killed, double killed." It was like, yes, you guys got sniped, bitch.
That isn't accomplishment. No, far away. Being a recon person in a Battlefield game or any type of game like that, it's hard because you do have to account for the trajectory of the bullet going to go down, it's going to go up, whatever, and you have to go where you are. That's awesome. No, that's awesome kill.
That was an awesome kill for me. So much that I actually remember it today. I mean, and I was actually I got really good at the recon in that game, which makes me mad because I suck at it now. I really suck at it. I tried it and I had to give up on it. But
it's okay. It'll get better.
So what you got for me? Typically, you got another question.
All right. Well, okay. So I was thinking back, games that going back to Nintendo games. I'm like, fuck, Nintendo games. I was thinking about the other day. I'm like, there's a lot of games that I didn't beat. They were hard as fuck, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't want to. I don't want to beat the game. I don't want to. Like, I don't need to physically play the game. Just show me the ending. What did I miss? Just show me the ending.
I do that nowadays. Like games I don't even want to buy anymore. I'm just like, because I own so many games that I haven't finished, and now, like, I'm almost done with Final Fantasy 13. I've put 70 hours in this fucking game, right? Yeah. I don't have time to go back and play all these games. So yeah, I just look at the ending a lot. But wait, keep going.
So I was thinking, I'm like, the game that honestly, this is a really shit game, but it bugged me so much I couldn't even pass the first or second level. It was on Nintendo. It was Adventure Island. It's I think you're named Mr. Higgins or Master Higgins, but like it's a little kid like in a like this. Your underwear's made of like some like leaves or whatever, and you have like a hat on, and you're on a skateboard, and you're going through the level on a skateboard, and
I kind of remember this actually.
I could not beat it. I think it's from Hudson Soft. I'm not sure what that means if it means anybody to anybody, but it was Adventure Island.
Kind of like a big round head.
Yeah, and it was a side. Of course, it was side scrolling.
Yeah,
and but I couldn't beat.
No, a lot
the
of
first second part.
A lot of those Nintendo games are really fucking hard. If you look back on it, think about Contra. I have never beaten that game with the 3 lives.
Oh,
you know,
that's
without that 30 min code, I have never beaten that game. All right, and I can't even imagine beating that game because we've lost all 30 men before we got to the end, and then you'd have to continue anyway with 30 men.
Yeah,
and that was 30 men. So if we play the regular mode where we don't have to, I don't even think we would ever get to the end of that game. And plus, this is Nintendo. This was no saving. This was you sit down and you beat this game in one playthrough. Otherwise,
yeah, you start at the beginning.
It's one game. Okay, it was called Sega Genesis Super Smash TV.
Oh yeah, I remember the game. Yeah,
I have never in my life beaten that game, and I'm telling you, we played it in every mode. There's 2 modes you can play. There's 2-player mode, which was harder, right?
Yeah,
you get double the enemies. And like so, you have 2 people trying to kill off double the enemies, and it just doesn't work. We gotten further playing 1-player mode, which is 1-player mode, 2 controllers. So 1 player just controls the legs. He does all the movement. Yeah, and the other player controls the gun, where you shoot at. Mm-hmm. And that was easier than just 1-player mode without it.
That's weird
because you still get half the enemies, you get double the lie, or you don't have to split all the extra lies. And it's easier because you just have one person doing all the avoiding. Because the controls were like almost like kind of like Call of Duty, where if you hit left on one joystick, you move left, and if you hit the aim on the other, it kind of aim there. So you can like.
But Genesis,
yeah,
did Genesis have double joysticks?
No, it didn't have double joysticks. But if you played 1-player, well, the controls were. So if you played 1-player mode, the controls were like shoot forward, shoot backwards, or lock direction.
Okay.
But if you played the 1-person, 2-player mode,
yeah,
it was like the double analog, basically.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically better. I guess I could have tried that with 1 person. Well, the idea of double analog back then was far-fetched.
Yeah, the dual analog isn't
it? So we tried that with 2 people, and we got farther.
Okay.
Every time we got to the last fucking stage, which is like the final boss, which is basically the host of the show.
Yeah.
Or like his head's on that robot. We would get to him every time, and we actually beat him one time.
Really?
In the midst of him dying, he crashed into us
What?
and killed us. And it's like, no! That was the furthest we had ever gotten. Like, we'd keep getting to him and dying, but we actually had finally killed him at this point, and he killed us. And I was like, all right.
That's a fucked up loophole.
So, this was back in, like, the early 90s. I didn't actually see the endings to the game until fucking, like, YouTube it came out.
Really?
Because we didn't have a Game Genie for Sega Genesis. We had never beaten the game, so I'm telling you, I hadn't seen the ending of the game, which was actually apparently nothing. All right,
there weren't any codes or anything for.
No, it was just like I said, those old style games where you sit down. If you don't beat it, you don't beat it.
Yeah,
no saves, no nothing. And the ending was terrible. All you just like, oh, congratulations, you win. And they just go, yay!
Yay!
I waited 10 years to see that fucking ending. I was like, are you kidding me? This game I put so much effort and life into losing against.
You know, with all saying, I haven't gone back and seen that ending. In all honesty, I wanted to, and yeah. I don't know if it's just the frustration of I don't want to see it because I don't want to get let down. But I've never went through. I went back. I typed it in. I'm like, okay, there it is. But I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch it. I'm not sure. Like, it's the memories of me like getting so. Because I got that when I was like 8 or 9 or no, remember that. But I was young and I was very. That was my pre-rage. You know, your early rage quit days were like, what the fuck? And like those controllers were very durable, so you could throw against the wall or the ground or whatever.
And they're actually very repairable too. I've actually, when I was a kid, took them apart and put them back together. Crazy glue and whatnot. So even if you did break it,
you probably fix it.
Hope. It's actually funny. One more thing.
What's up?
Fallout 3. Have you played Fallout 3?
I have not beaten that game, but yeah, I have.
So I've never beaten it either. Right?
Okay.
So that's the whole point of that story. Fallout 3. I was getting really far into this game. I was probably 70 hours into that game. If you've ever played Fallout 3, it's a really... You can go through it real quick.
It's a very time-consuming game.
Yeah, but you can do it the very time-consuming mode, and you can actually where you feel like you're literally living in this world.
Yeah.
So I was playing that game a good 70 hours into it. I had changed over computers. I got a new computer, built a new computer, because one day my computer was dead when I got home. So I was like, okay. Took all the files from my old computer, moved them to my new computer. I went from AMD to Intel. So every time I tried to play the game since then, it would blue screen on me.
Really?
I would start the game, it would go for a couple seconds, and then the computer would blue screen. So I had to Google the ending of that fucking game too, because I wasn't about to sit down.
Okay, I heard the ending of that was really funny. Don't tell me the ending, but I heard it was really, really funny. And honestly, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do it, or why. No, if you want to tell me. But
I don't remember it. I just remember I had to look it up because I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna sit down and play this game again."
But for PC games, there should be a save file, right?
No, it was a save. Every time I would try to play it, it would blue screen.
Did you reinstall it and then save it?
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
I brought the files over, I uninstalled the game, reinstalled it, moved my save file, but every time I would start the game, it would blue screen. I could start the game.
Yeah.
And it would just, for 4 seconds in, it would always blue screen.
So your save file was corrupted. That's fucked up.
I don't know what happened. I just know that... Well, I just know that I wasn't going to fucking be playing that game again. Because I was, 70 hours in, it's like... That's not something you can just sit down and redo. It's just not something you're just okay, well, I just...
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky missions where oh yeah, that lucky kill or whatever, you found something on accident, but you can't go back and redo those memories.
It's just not... I know you could probably do it a third of the time, but still, I don't have the energy. Because I didn't sit down for 70 hours straight.
I can't replay games.
Yeah.
I can't replay games at all. I can't beat a game and replay it. I can't replay for more. I'm like, nah, nothing. Except for the current game I'm playing right now. I'll talk about that in our which we're playing section.
Okay, so what should we be playing?
Okay, well, you want to go first?
Let's talk about it. Let's go.
Okay, so I have acquired finally Titanfall. I bought it.
Titanfall.
Yeah. And I love it all the same as it did in the beta. Really great.
Here goes the butt. Here goes the butt.
No butt. Damn. Just a little a first time thing I've seen where the game is you have to be online to play it. Mm-hmm. You have to be online. There's a campaign, but it's online as well. So what it is you play. There's two options. It says campaign and classic. Classic is just multiplayer. You pick maps and play multiplayer. Campaign is you start on, I believe, the militia side. Right now I'm playing the IMC as the other side. So there's 9 levels. You start on the militia side, and you start the game, and it's a story mode, but it's just multiplayer, but story mixed into it. They just added story to beginning and at the end of the level. They added some voiceover for just the story, but all it is a multiplayer mode because it's it says you go in there, it says attrition or domination or capture the flag, whatever. But they're multiplayer modes, so you're playing 6 other people multiplayer. It's a multiplayer mode. You're playing 6 other people.
Are they playing multiplayer mode, or is it just...
It's multiplayer mode, except with a little story sprinkle over it. It's just an overlay of story. And I'm like, that's weird, because I just paid $60 for a multiplayer game. Well, we talked about in the past, playing this multiplayer game. Which is, I have no problem with that. I'm having fun. But it's just weird that...
It's almost kind of cheapens it, because it's trying to
there's no campaign. Yeah, there is no campaign. Okay, there is you see a story in the beginning, and just video clips of some voiceover for a minute maybe, and then you start training. Then you go to the multiplayer or with the beta or whatever. The campaign. So I went through 9 levels. I beat the campaign as militia, and you unlock the Strider Titanfall. It does the chassis, the mech. And then it says go back and play the same 9 levels, except you play as the other side. You unlock the ogre, which is the big brute type of a titan. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna play multiplayer, you might as well just play the campaign, get that out of the way, get the achievements, or get the achievements. It's 50 achievements for the each side, and then go back and play multiplayer and level up there. and while you play your campaign, you're leveling up anyway. So you can beat the game both twice and end up starting your multiplayer at a decent level. maybe
'Cause you're
15 or
gonna
16, and you've already had the experience of playing. So this time you're just playing.
It's just like pointless. It's like what's
this time you're just playing with no story.
Do you have to win in multi, or do you have to win in campaign?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Win or lose, the story goes
doesn't
on.
matter. Yeah, I was in the militia, and I lost a couple matches. Like our team lost, and
I beat the
just
game.
move on.
Yay!
Move on to the next one. And honestly, I don't know if it's rigged where you win, because when I played last level, we won, but I'm not sure what happens if you lose.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
it just goes on anyways.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, I'm sure it just goes on. You're like, okay, well you played the
guys
game.
Won. Yay!
Somebody won. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Go on. But I'm having so much fun. I finally implemented the Twitch into my Xbox Play. So I've been streaming my gameplay, and last night I was like, oh no, was it last night? Was it last night? Shit. Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I was playing, and I was before I went to go out and do my day. I got the MVP achievement, or the top of the class achievement, which is get the highest score in your thing. And so I like first-person shooters, but that's also, I guess, an accomplishment. But it's something that like, you excited, like, okay, I was the top person. I only got the most kills, the most points, whatever.
That's definitely, because people of this days, they take those games so seriously. Like so there's like a casual gaming, and there's like competitive gaming, and there's really not in between.
Yeah.
You either like play for like fun, or you play to like just to win.
Yeah.
And those people who win, they get like almost like sometimes like a 90% kill ratio, or KDA.
Yeah, kill death ratio.
And they like go all out. And I've actually watched these dudes play, and like I don't even have the mind frame to play the way you play.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one time where not to change the subject, but
Okay.
in Call of Duty like 5 or 7, or I don't even know what
One of the Call of Duties.
Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 8. But I had got this turret thing, and I at this point suck at this game, okay? Because I've been so casual with playing, and these people have reached a new level. But I got this turret thing, and I put it somewhere. 48 kills later.
Jesus.
I was like, what the hell? I got first place on my team, and like, I don't know I'm telling you, I don't know how to play Call of Duty anymore, right?
Yeah.
Some shit happens, they give me some extra shit, I just put this shit somewhere.
Don't die.
Yeah. And it got 48 kills, and everyone's trying to add me, and it's like, okay, I guess that's an accomplishment. I declined them all.
Yeah, okay, you know what? The worst part is when you get that, you're like, oh yeah, everybody adds you. Yeah. The next round you get like last place. You're like, I got like 2 kills.
I declined them all because like I said, I suck at this game, right? And this is like at a point where I'm not sure. This is right with me. I haven't bought the game since then because the game just gets more and more ridiculous. But
yeah,
this was like when it started getting ridiculous, and like getting kills was easier or whatever. Like I just put this thing down. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, okay, this is like a good place for a turret and run off. And I guess it was in a perfect place for this hallway where people just keep running. I guess they just keep running down. They just don't get it.
I guess they ain't know.
I
Damn.
died at this last time.
Okay, that's dumb on their part there, because if you know a turret is there, you go back and if you find a way to kill it, you destroy it.
I guess not. I'm pretty sure my team was like sieged up where it was like a lot harder to do. I don't know what happened. All I know,
whatever
is,
the situation was, the
like
scenario
they thought
was.
I was the bomb because people were all at me. I was like, nah, man, I suck at this game. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a fluke. But it was a funny accomplishment because people were like actually adding me, like, this is the dude to have in your team. Like, no, I shot one shot from half court and it just happened to go in. Right? I didn't expect it to go in, but it went in.
Yeah, I'm just a water boy.
Yeah. No, that first place thing is a compliment. I went back in Battlefield 2. Battlefield 2 was like the highlight of my career and first person shooters. I was actually good.
Bad Company, right?
Yeah, Bad Company. Yeah. I was sniping people through walls. I was like scary, like 100 feet, like not 100, like on the opposite side of the map with a sniper rifle. Like, okay, he's this far, headshot.
Yeah,
I was.
It's nice.
Good.
It's nice to see that. So headshot 50, long shot. You get the long shot added because it's very long away.
That's how far. Like you would know where I was sniping you from, but I was so far away. You would have to either run down to where I was, and by the time you got there, you already been sniped, or you just. Like there was no stopping me because I was so far ridiculously away, and I had at this point I had like built up to the best, which was like a super I forget like an M15, which is like a tank sniper rifle or something. But I built up to that because I was so good. So at that point, I was on the top of the mountain in the far distance. You know I was there because it showed you where I was.
Yeah.
But there was nothing you could do about it. That's how good I got. So yeah, when I was getting first place, then I felt accomplished. People were adding me, but now it's a whole different story.
Yeah, so I got first place, and nobody added me or nobody really cared, but I was excited. I'm like, that's awesome. That's like that comes from. And it said, it said achievement unlocked. Top of class. I'm like, really cool. MVP. I got a couple hundred points more than anybody else in my group. I actually uploaded the video and put it online, and but no, it's just that little small victory. I'm like, okay, cool. But like the rest of the time, I was getting like fourth, fifth place. Like it was pretty crappy, but it was just a happy moment. Like that's awesome. Like there's something that I don't know what happened or what it was, or just I was in that moment where like everything's clicked and it worked for me. I got so happy.
You were there.
Also, it happened this morning before he got here. I was playing, and there was these parts in the levels where they have like Steam coming up, where you find Steam, whatever, and they sign it Foggy, and I was in my Titan, and I was shooting a person, and he went in the Steam, and I jet through the Steam and punched him in the face. It was a fucking amazing shot. I'm like, I should have recorded it. I'm like, I didn't yell Xbox record, but just seeing like you hear like zzz, and you see yourself like go forward, like boost forward through the Steam, and you see a hand come out and punch the guy in the face. It was amazing. I'm like, oh god, that was a great shot, and I ended up just beating him down. But also, if you have to get good at being a Titan and learning to boost and hit, and then while you're reloading or while your boost is recharging, shoot. Because today's some guy I had been in my Titan for a while, so I had a little damage on me. And this guy spawned a Titan, and so I'm like, fuck this guy. So I shot him. I boosted, hit him, and he was trying to. I was trying to fumble around. He was trying to either like get his gun or something, but like every time I hit him, he dropped his hands. He couldn't get his gun was coming back up. And I ended up beating him down, like hit him and shooting him. And I'm like, fuck, like that's you have to learn to be quick and know what you're doing, because if you fumble around the control and if you're in a Titan 1-on-1 melee match, you gotta learn you gotta know what to do, man. You gotta boost backwards, you gotta boost side, you get out of there.
That's so embarrassing, being outskilled when you have the advantage, because I've had that happen a lot of times. And I very rarely do I do it like in League of Legends, where it's like, I am down and out, but I'm going in, and like you win, you're like, shit, what? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It does suck, and then
it's like the person out.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I feel less accomplished now. So I played Metal Gear Solid 5, which is it's complicated. So apparently it's Metal Gear Solid V, which is 5. Or Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. This is Ground Zero. It's the prologue, the demo. This game is actually fucking hard.
What happened to the short campaign they were talking about, the 5-hour campaign?
So it's definitely, once you figure out your mission, so it's very open worldy. And so the first like 8 times I played, I didn't know where the hell I was going. I was like kind of running around, and eventually kept getting caught by soldiers. It's pretty cool though. But I realized that, so how they say it's like a 10-minute campaign. So if you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you can just go straight to there and then go straight to the other mission. And so once you know where everything is, it's always, or generally speaking, it's always going to be in the same spot.
Okay.
So you can do it. Getting that information is a lot harder though. Like it's tactics and espionage and all that shit. But you can like find out where the cameras are. You can find out where the soldiers are hiding. But once you get past that, I can see how it can be 10 minutes because you're just avoiding all the traps.
Okay.
But it's definitely. It's a good game for a prologue-ish, so to speak.
Okay.
So it can be a short mission, like a short demo. It also can be a long demo, because I played it. When I actually did finally beat it, it was 2 hours had gone by. And
so you beat the game then?
Yeah.
You had beat the game, okay.
I beat it. But I was doing like these side quests, and I was playing it super safe, because the first 8 times or 20 times I played, I kept getting caught and killed.
Yeah.
Or shot to death. Or I ran out of ammo, because I just
being an espionage, are you given a small amount of ammo? This 1 clip or 2 clips?
So you actually have infinite clips in your
really
in your one of your guns, but you have a silencer that when you shoot, your like silence capability goes down, and once it's not silenced anymore, as soon as you shoot, they go on alert. Like, what was that? And then they kind of like hunt out the area, and you can like on your map it shows them where they think you are.
Okay.
So you kind of avoid that area, and there's actually a dot where it's like last known location, so that's the last time they actually saw you. So they're kind of gonna hunt out that area. But you do have infinite clips, so if you just want to keep shooting, it's good. But the thing is, more mole searchers are going to keep coming, and you can just keep shooting them down.
Okay.
I guess you could probably sit there shooting forever, literally. Then you have a silencer, a couple hand grenades, and like a silenced pistol, like a trank gun, that only has like 18 bullets.
Oh, really? Okay.
You actually have to go find some more, which I luckily did by knocking out one of the soldiers. But it's really interesting. So you have to be a fan of Kojima. Metal Gear Solid to like this game. If you don't like that stuff, it's kind of hard to get into because it's like very cinematic. Have you played those games before?
I've never. I played the Metal Gear Rising. That's as far as
that's
as far as cinematic. Any Kojima type product I think I played is that. I mean, a Metal Gear.
Well, it's very cinematic. Like the first, like when you first turn on a game, like the first like 10 minutes or like cinema.
Yeah.
And then you play it for like, well, however you play it, 10 minutes or like me. Fucking 5 hours, and then 10 more minutes of cinema. It's interesting. This is like one of those games where watching it would be worth it if you're not into the game because it's interesting. You have to be into that kind of. It's very like Japanese American-esque kind of spaghetti western.
Question:
style.
Would you consider Call of Duty cinematic? Because there's cinematic cutscenes every time.
So we've had this conversation before.
You don't play campaigns.
I have never played a single Call of Duty kit. I don't even know what those games are about.
Okay, so there's a campaign in the beginning. Sorry, there's a cinematic in the beginning showing the setup of the story. Cinematic. Is a cinematic every other level? It's every end of the level.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about as far as Metal Gear? As far as there's a cinematic in the beginning that sets you up in the story.
Yeah.
And then a level, then a cinematic, then a pad level like that.
Well, in this case, it's a cinematic level. Cinematic because it was a prologue. So
yeah.
I guess if it was a whole game, it would be that way. But yeah, this is kind of it's kind of intense because at some point you're cutting open somebody to remove a bomb from their chest, and
they're still alive.
They don't have anesthesia. It's like, we got to do it now, and it's like, oh damn! And you sitting there watching her struggle. It's like, oh no, stop it, stop!
Oh, spoiler alert! Damn.
Oh man, it's violent.
No, is that a cinematic or is that you do it like?
That's
okay, there's not a quick time event where you do it yourself.
You're all dead. Like, nah, man, you're not convincing me to reach in there. You're actually just holding her down anyway, but it's still like it's violent. It's a good game. It's interesting. I don't feel nearly as accomplished as you are because I feel like I failed that game so many times.
No, I mean you beat it. I mean
I finally found a way
to beat the game.
I didn't even know I had a silenced pistol until my friend came over and he was doing all these random changes with the buttons. Because I feel like it's almost like a tutorial type game, but it kind of skims over a lot of the controls. So
you get to figure it yourself.
Yeah, I had no idea I had a silenced pistol. He's like, "Oh, I just did this, click." Like, "Oh shit, I've been trying to just knock all the soldiers out by hand." He's like, "Oh, I can actually shoot them from a distance now." Good stuff.
But you're not supposed to, right? You're not predicated on shooting people. You're supposed to knock them out. It's supposed to be silent.
Well, it's a trank gun.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you can knock it. It really helps because I've been running up behind everybody and then knocking them out, and which kept leading me to get caught. Like I run up to someone's shoulder and then somebody's like, "There he is!" Like shit, and it just goes downhill after that. But after the gun, it's like maybe it's like 100% easier. Like, oh hey, shoot that guy. The other guy notices him fall out. When he goes to check on him, knock him out. So this was a whole new ball game once I found that game there.
Now you said you took 2.5 hours to beat it. Right?
I took 2.5 hours. If you look at I took 2 hours. If you looked at the video I posted, it says 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I had played it like 20 times before that. I kept fucking losing. So for me, it took 2 hours just doing the mission and then doing it as carefully as possible. I actually had gotten through with no retries when I actually finally beat it.
Okay.
Because I had got caught 4 times, but I actually was playing it super safe. But it took me a while to get that fucking point. Like I said, I can understand how it's 10 minutes long because once you know where all the obstacles are, you just avoid them, and then and once you find out you have a trank gun,
it's all trial and error then.
Yeah, but I can see 10 minutes, and I'm pretty sure if you just rush through it like fucking Herculoid style, just, You could probably get a good, probably beat it in less than an hour.
Okay, so do I want to transition to what you
just go ahead and jump into
transition?
it. So,
before we get our new releases, we'll we have some just nerd. Dre brought up a good point, and based on his relationship with Metal Gear, this is okay. You made notes. Go and tell us all about it.
You're more the research guy. I'm just more the black.
No, that's fine. No. This you put time into this, so I want to give you credit here. So. Like you, some of you, I haven't played this game yet, so you spent the money, you played it, and this affects you more than it affects me. I can only speculate, I can guess, I can question.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do that.
Okay, so my point is, like, would it be awesome if there were more prologue / game demos? I mean, the only two cases I can think of this where it's happening is Metal Gear V, Ground Zeroes, and Gran Turismo prologue. The point being that game development nowadays is so fucking long. I mean, if you remember that Final Fantasy 13 took, 4 years to develop?
Very, very long time.
And it gets to a point where it's like, the audience like don't even fucking bother making a game anymore. We don't care. I mean, so much time has passed. But once it does come out, people get disappointed or whine, complain. I mean, would it be a good idea for more games to come out with like a prologue? Because, time versus development versus how much it costs for the game. So one argument was for this game specifically, Metal Gear V, was it was a $90 like if the game had came out when it was supposed to come out and this prologue was part of it.
Okay. Essentially,
it's a $90 game is what they're saying.
So $20 more than any other game.
Yeah.
Or
$30.
Sorry, $30 more, $60.
Development cost versus the amount of quote unquote game they put into it. They're estimating the worth at like $90.
So they're already overpricing the game higher than any other game.
Yeah, in general, and even if you just came out with a game, even if the game was worth $90, say this game, we've calculated the amount we put into it, the amount we put out. It's the best game ever made, $90. If you hit a game at the $90 level, no one's gonna go buy it. You're gonna have the hardcore fans gonna buy it, but a lot of the people I'm just gonna wait down till it hits $20.
The casual gamers who don't mind being late to the party.
Yeah,
are gonna wait.
They're
until
not
it's cheaper.
paying $90 for the game, and I can understand that. I would feel like kind of. I don't even like paying $60 for a game.
$90 is a lot of money. If you $100 roughly, tax $100 for a game.
So it's like at the point where what do gaming companies do? They want to make these AAA games, which takes more money to develop, but can they do it at the price point of $60? And in this case, he was basically saying that no, they couldn't do it, and the development time versus cost versus money. So they reached out at this $30 prologue. Now, would you say the next Halo or Titanfall came out and it had a full campaign?
Okay.
And this what you bought now was the $30 just multiplayer mode. Would you be all for, a $30 Titanfall? This is just like the basic prologue mode, and next year or 2 years from now, they release the full game, or the rest of it, which is $60. Would you be cool with that, or how would you feel? Would you be more into it?
Is it 1 year or like the same year it's open? Okay, same year.
Let's say January to December.
So January.
So at both about a year. It's possibly the same year, depending on how.
Okay, if it was the same year, I would be questionable to buy a second one because it's been the same year. It means it's kind of like to me that is the information's on the disc. You have to unlock it. It's that. So it's a 186 kilobyte you unlock for cheap. We have them both completed, but we're going to give you part this one and part later. That's nothing. If I bought it a full year later, maybe January, I bought the second one, maybe March or April, I'd be more inclined, because maybe to me, like a sequel. I looked at it as more a sequel.
Okay.
Now, I'd also worry about, I'd also be worried that the company doesn't put enough faith into their game where they can put it out at $60 and make all their money back. Oh, yeah. Like, these games, some games cost, millions of dollars to make and make their money back because it's a known product, like any Call of Duty, Battlefield, even the Grand Theft Auto, fucking.
So let's put it into a different perspective.
Okay.
So Telltale Hearts has been releasing very successfully The Walking Dead.
Telltale Games.
Telltale Games.
Telltale Heart is the book.
Nevermore. Not Nevermore. Oh,
That's
God,
the Raven.
I'm convincing my Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart. Anyway. The infernal beating of that hideous heart. That's right.
Yes,
That's
Simpsons.
right. I got my...
Yeah, Lisa Simpson's going on. Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Now I got Edgar Allan Poe in my head. What were we talking about?
The Raven.
So Telltale Games.
Okay.
Telltale Games has released a very successful episodic gaming. Where episode 1 and then I guess 2. I can't remember the time frame, but over the period of a year, they released 5 episodes, and they're each $20. All right, or $10. I don't remember. We bought them. We bought it, or you can get the season pass.
Yeah.
So you can get these games, and they come in bits and parts, and you can, it was like a demo for 1, but then you have episode 1, you pay that. Episode 2, you pay that, or you can pay the $40 price for all of them. And it's very successful. I mean, it's broken into parts, and I'm assuming that game was either in development or they're like based on the. I'm not sure why that game was like that.
Okay.
Like it was episodic, because there's not many games like that. Like
Sonic tried that, and Sonic failed at that.
Did it?
Sonic tried to come out with Sonic 4 episode 1 or whatever, whatever it was, but it failed. Like nothing really came out.
I do remember. I thought that was just like a sequel or whatever. It's just new name, but it did pretty well. And I don't know why, if it was just development cost, time, or to see if there was an interest there, like just testing the market.
Yeah.
But it's successful. They're on season 2 now, and episode 1 has really released. So
yeah.
Which could you see more games doing that? Maybe like broken up to like part episodes.
But those are also these are QuickTime event games, right?
Yeah.
QuickTime events. There's no really interaction past that. It kind of goes. You're just following a story and interacting with it. It's a choose your own adventure, except a video game.
Yeah.
Where you're just reading, or in this time you're just coming to you're watching an episode and you're choosing, okay, do this, and do this. There's no, there's no multiplayer. There's no. That is a campaign. Campaign is really kind of sort of loosely termed campaign. I don't think that, and this is also a Telltale Games. It's not a AAA game.
Yeah,
thing.
It's not AAA. It's definitely up. It's up there in terms of production value. It's
not because the episodes have been so good.
Yeah.
They can put more time and effort into their games because they don't put enough or the money that they do into the other aspects of the games that one game would do. But no, I guess you couldn't do this for every game. That would be.
I definitely agree. I mean, but there's some games where, like, let's say, like, it's 2014, right? That's what you have to say.
Sure.
Okay, 2014 now. So, in let's say they announce a game. Let's say Halo X. I don't know what Halo's on. So Halo X is announced.
5 coming out, yeah.
But they say that we're developing Halo X. We're estimating it won't be done until 2017. That's 17. That's 3 years from now. But they say but we're going to release a prologue in a year and a half because that's pretty much is how much that game will have done by then. With the production costs and time it'll take to make the game, 2017. But we're going to come out with a prologue in 2000. What's between now and then? 2016. 16.5.
Yeah.
I mean, would you be
or
cool?
15.
How would you feel about that? Because that's by the time that game gets here, I mean, it'll probably be great. But you're not gonna, like I said, not gonna buy a $90 game.
Yeah.
And at $6, so would you more prefer a $90 game that you buy in parts, or not? No one's gonna buy it at the end. So would you just prefer the $60 game and the quality be $60, or how would you $90?
I don't think the quality would change if it was $60 and $90. I mean, all you do is get more. You get a longer game. You get a couple more hours.
Well, it depends what the extra money goes into. I mean, you might get a longer game.
But you're saying that $90 is $30 the prologue completed.
So here's your options. So you can get a $60 game in 3 years, or you can get a $90 game in 3 years broken into parts. I'm assuming that you can see that $30 quality difference. Like if either it's in the missions, campaigns, or just the quality of frames per second and the.
But unless they come out and shows you what you've been missing, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, so that's a problem.
Then that'd be a stupid move on them. Like, oh, this is what you would be missing, but buy the shittier version of the game for $60, leave $30.
It's the catch-22 then, right?
Yeah.
In this case, it worked out, or I'm not sure it hasn't worked out yet because the
Phantom Limb hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, but I thought this it really left me wanting more though. I was like, because
So the story, okay, that in these cases, the story has to compel you. It has to make you want to buy the game.
Oh, I wouldn't even say that part. You have to be a fan. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid, so I'm $30. Or it was actually $40. It had started out at 40. Luckily, it went down to 30 release date. Amazon. I'm not sure if you bought it at retail, like at GameStop, if it did the same. I know Amazon, when it came out, it's like, oh, we're refunding you $10, so this is now a $30 game. So essentially, I would have been paying $100 if I had bought it possibly retail price, or assuming that it hadn't dropped. So, because I'm a fan, so I'm not tripping. I'm not a huge fan of Gran Turismo, so I didn't buy the prologue. I mean, I played the demo and it looked great, but I was like, whatever.
All right.
But I don't know. It's a catch-22. I would be more interested if more companies try this out and see how it took. Like, for example, Final Fantasy 13. That game was in development. The last Final Fantasy I played before that was 10.
Okay.
So that's like a 6-year gap between 10 and 13, probably.
Yes.
I've been all for playing like a.
You play 12?
I didn't like 12 at all.
Really?
I tried 12. I didn't like the fighting style.
Oh, well,
it's very Diablo-esque, where you sit there and you watch him stand for a second and then swing.
Yeah.
Stand for. I'm just not. And which is it's almost no different than the
11. 11 was the same way.
I'm saying that where you sit there, you choose commands, and then you watch.
Oh, turn-based?
Yeah, it's not. It's no different than turn-based ish. I just didn't like it.
Okay.
And that's just me.
Gotcha. I was just reading over the quote you put a quote on here from.
Yeah.
Well, essentially what they're saying.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it, or do you just want to skip?
No, you can go ahead and read it. I had terrible at reading comprehension. I might as well.
All right, so this is the quote. Do you know where it came from? Who said this?
Kotaku. I had no idea who said it, but it was
came from Kotaku. No quote who said it, but it says Metal Gear Solid 5 has turned out to be really, really expensive and has taken a really, really long time to develop. So we want to sell it for $90, and we also want to stop recouping some of our costs. Sorry, we also want to start recouping some of our costs sooner rather than later. But market trends won't allow the price point, and the whole game still isn't done. So let's chop off the first third and sell it for $30. So that way we get our money now and can sell the whole product for $9. Sell the whole product for $9.
Just dyslexic as I am.
Nice, cool. Yeah.
I don't feel so bad.
Yeah. So essentially, that's what they're saying. What we talked about a second ago.
$90 game, but they can't sell it for $90 because it won't allow for it. I mean,
they want to start making their money back now.
Yeah. Or they're probably not making their money back. They're probably making their money putting it back. I'm assuming they're making their money and putting it back into the production costs. I mean,
it says here they want to start. We also want to start recouping some of our costs sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So they're making their money back from the game. So that could mean that they aren't really. They may be not fully into confident that the game will make the full $9 back, because
there's that. There could be that. Yeah.
That I would. If I was a fan of the series or of a series that does this, and I was I bought every single game, I was like, oh yeah, all for it and whatever. Then yeah, I may drop $9 for the game. If I was a fan, I want to stay true to the company. I want to see more.
See, I hear you there. Like I would have if I was a fan, I would be. I'm not against the idea, but at the same time, I'm be like, I know that the game's gonna drop in price. I know it. You know it.
Yeah.
Fucking games drop in price. You can get fucking Dead Space free right now in Origins. Mm-hmm. The first Dead Space, which cost $60 at its release day, so free versus $60.
But it's also the time frame has been out for us.
Well, I'm just saying, no. But so I know the game one day is going to drop in price to a time frame where I feel more comfortable. By the time I get around to it, I can buy it used probably for $10.
Okay.
And in that, so that makes it hard for the company to release a $90 game, knowing that this being like one of the only $90 games in the market, people are like, okay, I can get this $90 game, or I can get this $20 game that I haven't played, and then the company itself, they take a huge hit. It's really a hard.
All right, so what about this? What if they did the whole game, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Limb, plus prologue, or they just named it Phantom Limb. Everything's in there, but they cut it in half. So now you got half the game. They call it Metal Gear Solid Phantom Limb Episode 1, Episode 2. They do that, and they release one part this year, which is the prologue and part of the story.
I think I'd be more for that.
And then next year, and they price it at $40.
No, I would actually be more for that. I think that'd actually be a better sell because this game, so it was just one mission.
Yeah.
And you can stretch it out to 5 hours long, but if you just play this one mission, it won't take you that long. And it's at the point where you play this one mission and you're like, oh, dude, I'm excited now. And you're like, and that's it. I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like, cause after the mission, I was more hooked than when I started it. I just bought the game. It's like, okay, cool. But after watching the events take place, then I was really like wanting more.
Okay.
Like I wasn't wanting that much to play. I was like, okay, I bought this game. Let me see how it is. But by the time the ending cinematics had stopped, I was like, cool. Let me just get some more. I just want a little more. Now, come on, now I gotta have some more. I think I'd be more cool for playing like a $2 $45 games because then you feel like you're getting a AAA title.
Yeah. At
a price point of $45. Yeah, they should.
You also okay. In this and extra to that, the game was mandatory at least 6 hours long.
Yeah.
Like it had to be like the everything, no matter what you did, how less you did, it was at the least 6 hours long. Well, 5-6 hours long.
That's more common because you can beat the Metal Gear 4 in like 3 hours. I think 3 hours.
But well, I mean, there was enough there to there's enough content there to.
I mean, I think you can rush through any of the Halos in like 2 hours, right? If you just skip all the events and then just rush through.
I suppose, yeah.
I've watched those speedruns. Speedrun videos are awesome. I sent you the Metroid where they're racing.
Yeah.
Super Metroid. A game that took me. I'd never be actually beaten because I stopped playing Super Nintendo. But it was a good 24-hour game. They rushed through in like 45 minutes. They found some fucking tricks that like fly through all the stages.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing, but it's like so. You can't guarantee that there's going to be somebody who finds the trick to being a cast, but the content available can be at that game. So yeah, it's because what makes this game 5 hours long is that once you beat it, you can go back and the replay value is more like 5 hours, but the actual gameplay value is probably like an hour and a half if you know what you're doing.
But can you do all the side missions prior to beating it? Can you do every single side mission in the campaign?
Don't really know.
Because again, it goes back to replay. I'm like, I don't want to replay it. I don't want to go back there and do that.
Because I did one side mission which involved me like saving all these soldiers, which I could have skipped. And it only took like an extra 20 minutes. And it was actually really easy because I had knocked all the soldiers out that were in there anyway.
Yeah.
It was just me transporting soldiers. And I don't know if I hadn't done that, I didn't have to do it. Like you have essentially exactly 2 missions, which is save this kid and then save this girl. And everything I did beyond that got me more information about the area. Like, okay, these are where the cameras are. This is where the soldiers are hidden. This is where the ammo is. And they actually told me about some of the side missions, but I didn't have to do any of them.
Yeah.
I could just ran through them. Like, once I had found out, so if I restarted the game, because I know exactly what I need to do now, I can just do that. And so it's just one mission. But if you play it the way you're supposed to play it, quote unquote, then you can get like a good 2 hours gameplay, get 5 hours out of the side missions. I think if I started again, like the missions are just different. Because when I saw videos, because when you play this game it's at night, but when I saw like replay videos, they were during the day. So I'm assuming the missions are slightly different. Like they actually focus everything. It's like, oh, this mission is you doing this.
Gotcha.
And it's what's so on. But I'm all for it. More episodic games, if you have to. I mean, obviously not everyone wants that, but I can imagine like playing some great games like the new Batman series, Arkham
Knight.
What is it? Arkham Knight. Yeah.
Arkham Knight.
Is this a prequel or a sequel? I don't even know where we're at anymore because it was Arkham City Asylum and City and Origins. Now where are we at in this series?
Arkham Knight.
No, but where is he at?
Oh, as far as I'm not sure where it takes place.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. But the villain just got shown. Arkham Knight villain looks pretty cool. It looks like a fucking middle Batman. It's pretty awesome.
Is it Ashfield? Maybe.
I'm not sure if that's Ashfield. It's Ashfield.
Okay, so that'd be interesting. Speaking of this, let's just turn it to superheroes, or let's talk about team. Or what do we want to talk about? Let's go.
You want to talk about new releases for PS3? This is a PlayStation Week, apparently.
These all crappy games. I mean, they're just basically you can skip them.
Ragnarok Ability Show and Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, the deluxe edition.
Nothing special. Let's go.
Says the PlayStation fan.
Says the PlayStation. As a PlayStation fan, these releases don't even like tickle my like. Hey,
you're fancy. You're like all right.
Talk about PS3. I mean,
Or PS.
Infamous 2 came out last week, so I'm thinking about picking that up. It actually looks pretty good. I've heard good things about it. The reviews say mostly positive things. So
PS fan says, skip this week, stay next week, live for tomorrow.
You know,
all right.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Right?
What? What's up?
As a PlayStation fan, and I'm assuming you have the same problem as me, is like the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, they keep releasing games for the old gens. It's quite frustrating because so when they release games for the new gens, where it's like, oh, cross-gen platform, but it's almost like they put a Xbox 360 game on an Xbox One or a PS3 game and PS4. So you get that old games playable on a new system versus they're making like new games for the new generation.
I think we talked about this before too, where some companies started making these games prior to knowing when the new console was coming out, so they were kind of screwed. It's like, okay, we have to stick to the old gen. Now they can go and re-release it for the next gen if they go back and redo everything.
And they have to redo it, and it sucks.
And now that means you'll pay the same amount of price for a next gen game, the same game you have, just upgrades graphics or whatever.
Yeah, or you'll play a quote unquote next gen game that's basically old gen new system.
Yeah,
just a catch-22. But luckily, Metal Gear V or Phantom or whatever it's called, Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, it felt fucking new gen. I went through this last week where the game now looks like a cinematic, and the cinematics just look like fucking real life. It's crazy, ridiculous how it's funny because you play Nintendo. And you're like, wow, this is the awesomest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then Super Nintendo comes out like, wow. And then N64, like, damn, I can't imagine getting better than this. And every year, it's going to get to a point where the game's going to look realer than real life.
Yes.
They're going to have more reality than reality. And you're going to be confused. You're going to be like disappointed in everyday life. Like, damn, why aren't games or life like video games? It's just interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, PS3's week is not this week, but whatever.
So you barely got around to watching Superman.
Barely got around to watching Superman, and
not too long ago.
So I'm not a Superman fan. Off the back, DC is. I'm actually getting more and more attached to DC, though. I'm actually getting into DC, but Superman has always just been ridiculous. That said, Zack Snyder did a great job at this Superman movie. I'll give him that.
Okay,
it was Zack Snyder, right?
It was Zack Snyder, yeah.
I thought it was great. Stylistically, but then he shows how ridiculous Superman really is as a live action hero. I think. I mean, okay, because Superman is not down to earth in any way, and he works well in cartoons. Because you see that destruction in cartoons, you don't really grasp how destructive it is. You see it in real life, and you see him plow through New York City.
Yeah,
like they literally they destroy like 2 cities, no problem, mass destruction. I don't think Superman works as a live-action hero. I just don't see it.
Because he can do anything?
That too. It's just, you try to encapsulate this, I don't know, like Batman's down to earth, so, ish, as ridiculous as Batman is. He's very down to earth. You can almost imagine it. They can quantify, they literally gone as far as quantifying how much it would cost to be Batman.
Yes.
And how much destruction he can actually do, and, how much he did. Based on that, and you can see like those events happening. The Superman, it's so ridiculous. He basically the amount of damage he probably did in Metropolis probably totals in the trillions of dollars. All right.
Yeah.
To top it off, that this dude wears glasses and no one recognizes this this world face. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen this dude on the news, Superman, everywhere, and no one recognizes him. I don't see it. I just don't think Superman works as a live-action hero. Like, same thing like Dragon Ball Z. Okay. It's a great idea, and it works in anime, no problem. It works in cartoons, no problem. It doesn't work in live-action with Jason. I mean, what do you think? Am I just being ridiculous, or
no? I some of these movies don't. There's too much into it where they have to make everything mostly CG. That's why they made Street Fighter movies. They made Dragon Ball Z anime. Manga, and they actually made movies too, like cartoon movies. Not just a shitty movie that came out, but the actual movies. I don't believe that. Superman.
I think the lore there just makes it almost impossible to grasp in like actual human.
No, with Superman, he can do too much, and there's not really. I'm not sure if they're introduce a villain that could, I'm not sure if they're saving the villain, because if they're the thing is, if they're saving villains for future Justice League movies, like Darkseid, or I think Darkseid, or what's that fucking
Brainiac?
Brainiac, there you go. I'm not gonna say Metallo, but Brainiac. Yeah, those are big villains that rival Superman in all his power. Even Bizarro could probably do so, or something like that.
Yeah.
But they have to save those for the older movies. Now, in these movies, they have to, they want to show his power, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they decided to destroy everything in the world, every single possible.
I mean, they basically,
and, they toppled the whole city, which the next scene was back normal. People working as normal. Nothing was out. But
the amount of destruction that they cause. I mean, if he goes to like the planet, what is he? Is it Apocalypse? Is where Darkseid lives?
Yeah.
If he goes there and causes like mass destruction, it won't be that bad because like okay, you can see that. But when they brought those homeboys down to Earth and they basically had destroyed like, it was basically like, I'm assuming that Metropolis is basically supposed to be New York City,
roughly.
and yeah, and I'm assuming Gotham is actually supposed to be New York City, just the dark side of it. He had caused probably, it was like essentially like destroying Los Angeles. And you couldn't destroy Los Angeles and rebuild that in any practical timeline. Even if you got trillions of dollars and had the world helping you, it would still probably take 10 years. And that's basically where Superman's at. Him and his villains are causing earthly destruction. They're basically one step from like Dragon Ball Z blowing up the planet. And you couldn't have that in every movie of Superman. It's just going to be like, okay, this doesn't work. I mean, I like the movie that Zack Snyder did. It was more...
I didn't like the movie.
You didn't?
I was bored. I found myself yawning during the movie. And a couple times like, oh, just hurry up and be over. It could have ended a lot sooner. They dragged out the fucking fight scenes. Yes, I know fighting, but
and like you see, so in the fight scenes, you see how ridiculous it is. Like these humans shooting this girl, and she's just going around knocking, and she's just like standing there at the time, like, oh god, this is boring. And then she just goes punching, basically killing them all,
yeah,
right? One at a time. And it's like, this doesn't. It just looks in a cartoon. I don't know. It doesn't feel that bad as a cartoon, but when you see it in like a live action, you're like, damn, this is ridiculous. You just this whole town just got destroyed. They just throw them in a gas station. The gas station blew up, and they just walk off and then kill 18 more people.
Yeah, it's not very Superman-ish.
Yeah,
it's not Superman that people have known like, oh yeah, save everybody. But no, this was. Maybe it's because it's an adolescent, the first time Superman being Superman. I really don't know. I just don't. Because you're on one point, where it's just like, it's. I don't know. I just don't see it working. Like Batman, it works because he caused like city destruction, but most of the city's left unscathed, and it's like realistic. Arrow, I've gotten into. He has his own little thing, and it's just like it's still low key. Yeah, like they're not causing this whole city to take apart. I mean, they're just working like the underground roots of like a. They also hide out in the shadows. Yeah, like, they aren't really known. They don't go public during the day. Everybody doing stuff. It's mostly Batman, Green Arrow, TV shows, live action films we've seen. They work in the night. They keep the shadows. They keep silent. They keep their faces shown. They modulate their voice. Whatever. And their impact is low key. Yeah, like they have a low key impact. Like even if they didn't exist. It's Batman got killed in the middle of a Batman movie. The impact of his death wouldn't be like a worldly. Oh, the world is taking over. It'd just be like, okay, well, this city is worse than it was before. But if Superman died, it'd just be the world would die. I don't know. I hate this rant about Superman. It's just so ridiculous. I just don't see it ever working out. Like it was a nice try, like the Avengers movie. I couldn't see that working out. But when they did bring it to the big screen, even though there was like causing city mass destruction, it didn't cause a fucking city to be toppled. But you saw them doing crowd control as well. Yeah, exactly. They were trying to get people. Out of the way. They were trying to move everybody out of it. They made mention of it. Get people out of the way. Get the people away. Which is a good point. I never even thought about that. Like they're protecting people, and you see these people running around, and you see people actually get hurt, and like, but it wasn't like. In Superman, you didn't see people get hurt, but they toppled. No, you saw them. I forgot what it was called, the fucking machine, the up and down, like everybody. Okay, you saw people in there going up and down, getting fucking tossed on. Yeah, they were dead. Yeah, you can't live from that. It was like 9/11,
times 9/11. Now that's this destruction they caused, but it was like so hidden.
Yeah.
Like, how can you hide that? I don't think that you evacuated all these buildings, and I just watched Superman fly through 2 buildings that then fell over. Okay.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
Even like Transformers 3 when they took over Chicago, you saw people like dying, and like the city was evacuated after that, or like a lot of the people were like kind of slaves and like kind of, but you see it, right? This movie was so like they tried to hide it, but it's like, wait, what happened to all the? I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they tried to hide it. They just didn't mention it. Well, as far as hide it, they didn't show any bodies per se.
Yeah.
But you knew this wasn't a citywide vacation day. Everybody, people were home.
Yeah, and I don't know. To me, this doesn't work. Hate to say it, they should stop making, or they can keep making cartoon Superman movies. Those work.
Okay, you'd rather see
CG.
you'd rather see DC make a Superman animated movie like they have been with War, Doom, any other cartoon that they've had.
Because that's to me that
or Flashpoint, the one.
To me, it works better than the live action. Because when you see it, you have that uncanny valley where I have a hard time like, okay, this is not believable anymore. Right? It was more believable as a cartoon than it was in real life to me.
Okay.
Unless they show like the death toll, like okay, we have to move Metropolis because they
now what happens it. Now you mentioned in the notes the sequel with Batman and Superman coming out.
And so that's another thing. How is that like Batman's down to earth superhero, so to speak? I mean, he's not.
Now are they going to address the issue of Batman? Why'd you fuck up my city? Why'd you fuck up the city? What the hell is wrong with you? What's your issue? If you're trying to save people and be nice, why'd you fucking kill everybody?
Yeah, I mean, you have
why'd you make people homeless?
You have two options. You either have to bring Batman up to Superman's level or bring Superman down to Batman's level.
Which, if you watch the Batman Dark Knight, you see that happen. You see Batman going up to his level as far as building a suit and whatever, building the mechanics to destroy or confront and beat Superman.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know. It's going to be an interesting film, say the least. You do have Ben Affleck as Batman, so I guess they're just going the unbelievable route, right? Oh! And we signing off for today.
No.
Oh, man.
Really, that's covered most of our topics the whole hour. Jeez.
Is it really?
Yeah. We've gone through a little hour about this.
It's me just ranting on about shit.
No worries. Did you want to... Because what we're going to do after this, we're going to record a... Would you want to name it? Want to give away the name?
Oh,
it'll already be out.
It'll already be out. Let's talk about Facebook Oculus Rift. That's actually one thing I want to talk about.
When on that?
Let's go on that. Let's go talk about it right now.
Okay.
How much time do we got? We got time?
We're at like an hour and 10, so not so much time.
Let's talk about it. So Oculus Rift just got bought out by Facebook. So if you're familiar with Oculus Rift, I mean, everyone should be familiar about it at this point, though. Oculus Rift is like the Kickstarter VR project. Somebody had a great idea, like let's make a VR project, and Kickstarter's crowdsourcing.
VR mean virtual reality.
Yeah. If you don't know that by now, then
I'm just saying, just in case people wonder what VR is. Just
all right. Okay. I shouldn't assume. You're right. But anyway, it got backed. It was like a $500,000 project. It made close to $2 million, I recall. I don't know the exact numbers, but it made a lot of money. A lot of money. So you had the crowd wanting this VR product, so that they were delivering, and then you had depending on who you are, good news, bad news, that Facebook is now buying Oculus Rift. So what does that mean for everyone? What does that mean for Kickstarter? What does that mean for Oculus Rift? What does that mean for Facebook? What does that mean for the competition? So let's start on one end. Now, what does that mean for Kickstarter and all its backers?
But what would that mean?
Well, let's start with the backers, because the backers are the original people who gave the money before Facebook.
Okay.
So what does that mean for them? I think it means that, let's say you wanted a project, like you wanted to do something. I'm backing you as a guy. I'm not backing Facebook. You had this project that you want to do. I'm backing you, and I'm having faith in you because you have your own ideas. You're an individual. You're indie, essentially. And to me, indie is not better, but depending on what I want, indie is always there for like creativity. Now you have Facebook backing you. Now you have that corporate influence. Well, now what you want is now going to be filtered through Facebook.
Okay.
Hey, I want to do this. Facebook, that sounds like a great idea, but I think it'd be better done this way. And you don't want to be like, well, fuck you. I want to do it. there's a complication between what you want, what the corporate wants, and what's because they like, oh, I got $2 billion here. I think you should do it this way. You know, like, and you be true to your roots. Like, no, I'm going to do it my way, or you can say, you know what, that $2 billion sounds good. Let's do it your way. I mean, what do you? Because there was like a huge outlash of people wanting their money back. They weren't backing Facebook.
But why? Okay, I don't get that. So you back a product that's going to get made. Yeah, that's good. You back a product, but your money doesn't entitle you to tell them what you should and shouldn't. They should and shouldn't do. You have. You want true. Okay. Your money is saying I want to help this get made. Does not mean I help this get made. Plus, I want an opinion in what is done with the product. You can't really tell them what you can either. You can back it, but your opinion really comes down to whether you buy it or not. You vote with $1 what you do. Now, if you back it, it's an awesome project. That's cool. Yeah, you help kickstart it. You help make it happen. Now, when it comes out, are you going to buy it? You can say, no, Facebook backs it. For some reason, I'm anti-Facebook. I'll go in a second. And then I'm not going to buy the product because I have an Xbox or I have a PlayStation or I have another, whatever, who has similar ones coming out for cheaper who aren't backed by these corporations I don't like. Also, going on that, why do people care what Facebook backs? Okay, so all you're going to do...
I don't think it's Facebook per se. I mean, like I said, it's back to the indie versus corporate. The indie scene, which is more... People are more attached to the indie scene than they are the corporate scene. Once you get corporate, big, you're influenced.
That's a fucking hipster thing. You can't be like, oh yeah, like they thought they were cool before they got big.
Well, it's not necessarily that. Let's say Wall Street Journal, for example. Wall Street Journal used to be, and this is going to the politics, but it used to be privately owned.
Okay.
So the news they came out. Actually, Wall Street Journal for the longest time. I feel so weird talking about this.
You're old, Grandpa. Tell me about it.
So Wall Street Journal for the longest time is known as one of the best news sources, because it's independent.
Okay.
Right. It was owned by some family who's like, okay, here's some money. You guys come with the news. And then many years later, it was bought by Fox News, News Corp. Rupert Murdoch bought Wall Street Journal. Well, now he's saying like, oh yeah, it's gonna be just the same way it was, but now I own it. But is that true? I mean, because you have now Wall Street Journal trying to stay as the Wall Street Journal, but you have Rupert Murdoch there like, you know what? This is a great news article, but I like it if you do it this way. I mean,
well, yeah. Who's going to give their money and not flex their power?
Yeah, exactly. So the influence is there. So
okay, I just don't.
Before you go, so Facebook recently just changed their Facebook, and if you notice over the course of like 2 years, Facebook has gotten more and more corporate. Where they actually like, oh, you want to promote your post? That's going to cost you some money.
Yeah. I'm
not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that influence is there. So you're already influenced by Facebook, and you're kind of like in this like bind where your contacts are now on Facebook, and I can't say, okay, I want to stop using Facebook because now everyone that I know uses Facebook. So now I'm kind of trapped in this loop of not liking Facebook, but stuck in Facebook. So if I want to go forward with Facebook, let's say Facebook decided to charge money. This is not saying they will. Okay. It's like, okay, so you want to use Facebook?
Like Facebook Prime?
Yeah, Facebook Prime. You can get better access, but it's going to cost you $1. Catch-22, I don't like Facebook, but everyone I know uses Facebook. I want to stay on Facebook because, the connections and my family and friends and photos are there.
Yeah.
So now I start giving $1. So now they have more influence. It just gets bigger and bigger. So they've been going more and more corporate. I mean, they have stock now. There's a fucking
yeah. They went
stock market exchange. So,
public. Yeah.
So it's like, how much control does the Oculus Rift have over a corporation? It was indie project. Like Minecraft is one of the biggest things. They actually backed out of creating an Oculus Rift, a Minecraft, because Facebook bought it. Like, oh, fuck this shit. I can see it from both ends. I can see where the Oculus Rift will be more just better with this $2 billion they work with. At the same time, no one gives away money for free. They're going to say, okay, that's $2 billion. You're going to be doing this. You want to do this, I'll let you still do that. But it's my money. I suggest you do this,
Okay. All right. My question is, or let me say this: Oculus Rift was made for gaming. Is that correct?
See, I don't know.
Okay,
I was actually never a big part of the Oculus Rift. I hadn't caught the news until after, and even then I wasn't that curious because I figured this is not the diss the Oculus Rift. I think it's an amazing project what they did. I knew this technology was around the corner. Not to say it's not pompous, but we've been talking about VR for like the last fucking 20 years.
Yeah,
it was going to eventually happen. The fact that it was indie projects is amazing. So I assumed it started with, because most things start with gaming or porn. So
yeah.
I'm assuming the person who made it strictly wanted to do porn gaming. He just mentioned the only gaming part.
Yeah.
There was a video with Japanese porn and Oculus Rift. That's just natural progression of technology.
It's going to happen, yeah.
Fun fact, most of the internet's porn.
Rumor has it.
Another fun fact, the reason why the VHS beat out Sony Betamax was porn. Another fun fact, DVDs are so popular because porn. It's just a really porn. It's sexy.
Porn has driven the world.
It really does drive technology. If you don't believe me, go Google this shit yourself.
Google porn.
Yeah.
You see what you get.
As a matter of fact, just Google shit. It doesn't matter. Just Google.
Literally, if you Google shit, I'm sure porn will come up too.
Yeah, if you just Google anything, porn is going to be one of the biggest topics that shows up. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
what?
But gaming, I assumed it's for gaming.
Yeah, everything I've seen for Oculus Rift has been game related. Right. Gaming, whatever. Okay, so what does I don't. This is okay. Yeah! That's what I'm saying. Okay, this isn't bothering me. What I can't. I'm thinking right now. What does Facebook have to gain from this technology? As far as for me, it's just a business move to partner up and get money from it's anything.
They're trying to jump in on the bandwagon quick as an investment in return.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't have any influence. Maybe they're saying, or maybe they have the influence with. They don't care what the fuck they do as long as they make money. So they're giving them $2 billion to.
As for marketing, investment, as far as more games, more things,
yeah.
That's all they're doing. So Facebook may not do anything with this. They made us be on the box. You'll see Oculus Rift brought to you by fucking this guy or whatever.
They just might have like, so if you ever watch Shark Tank, which is a fun show to watch,
yeah,
they just might have equity. Like, oh, it's a 50-50 stake, but the Oculus Rift just says Oculus Rift brought to you by the creators of Oculus Rift. It may not even have Mark Zuckerberg's name on there. You may just give him the money and just, okay, so now, I gave you $2 billion. I want that $2 billion back, and in return on my investment. It might just be an investment.
Now, Facebook also owns Instagram, right?
Facebook does own Instagram.
Okay, so you have some cross everything else. You have Oculus Rift, you have Facebook, you have.
So you might just get some VR sharing. You might get some real time VR porn on Facebook.
Yes, but also on Instagram. There are times there are sponsored posts on Instagram, so you may get some sponsored Oculus Rift posts now through Facebook, through on your Instagram, just advertisement. Like I said, I honestly don't see how Facebook can really influence or take over. I mean, like, okay, now I'll try to play devil's advocate here. Facebook did.
Let's go back before you play devil's advocate. Okay. So the one thing I was, because I'm not yay or nay. I didn't back the project, so I can't really say I'm yay or nay. I can see it from both sides, but on to $2 billion. So Sony had recently announced their Morpheus project.
We talked about last week, yeah.
Yeah, and to me that was like, damn, it's going to be hard for this indie project now to go heads up with this Morpheus project, which is backed by Sony, one of the top 6.
And also Microsoft's coming with theirs as well too.
Oh God, Microsoft.
Oh jeez, get out of here. You're staying at home with an Xbox fanboy. You don't give me that stuff.
I didn't say it. I didn't say anything about the Xbox.
Okay.
What I said was Microsoft. Now we can go into detail why it's Microsoft. Okay. Xbox is definitely a good product. We talked about the Kinect and how awesome it is, but Microsoft in its entirety is not the. Anyway, I don't want to go on a long rant. Sony is one of the big 6 corporations. If you Google it, there's really all of media technologies.
Big 6 is also a porn title. So.
Not Big 6, man. 8.5, homeboy.
It's TMI.
Oh, okay. You brought anyway. So Sony's one of the big 6. So they own there's 6 media companies out there. If you Google it, there's like ABC, Time Warner, Disney. I forget how it works out. Sony's one of them. GE. So Sony puts money into a project, it's gonna be fucking big. Project Morpheus. And then you had this Oculus Rift, the indie project. I was like, damn, it sucks for Oculus Rift because Sony's gonna beat the shit out of this indie project. You got that because Sony has the money for marketing. Sony has the money for gaming. Sony has the money for whatever. Whereas Oculus Rift, they had the money they got from their indie product and anything they can get from sponsored after that. To me, Facebook backing the Oculus Rift with $2 billion gives it a fighting chance.
Brings to the level of Sony, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had this $1 trillion company not going against this indie project. Now you have a $1 billion product going against a $1 trillion company. So it gave it, to me, equal fighting ground. In terms of, like, what could, you know...
No, is Oculus Rift just a Google... a glass...
Google Glass?
Yeah, is Oculus Rift just a goggle? Or is it because is it a headset, or is it a headset and its own console campaign?
What I understand is Oculus Rift is just an accessory.
To
whatever. Same thing with Morpheus. Like there is no Oculus Rift without connecting it to a computer, TV.
So then Sony has an advantage there, or Microsoft does.
No.
When they have.
So I was in the impression Sony is the same thing. From what I understand, this is just me doing.
But
simple
Sony's an accessory to the PS4. Xbox would be accessory to the Xbox One, and Oculus Rift would be accessory to the PC. Now,
no, not just PC. It's just anything you can connect it to, as long as you can get that signal. Essentially, it's just a signal. Is you can get that
Bluetooth?
out signal, wire, like a HDMI signal, so to speak. So if you can get the signal out of something, it may not be for the Oculus Rift, but you can get that, I guess, media thing. Like you can connect it to your television, PC, based on what. All it takes is somebody to make a signal connector for the PS or the Microsoft Xbox. I'm sorry.
Very nice.
There we go. So all it takes is somebody to design a connector. Once you connect it, you get the signal. Now, it may not be that 3D view you're hoping for because it's not 100% compatible with the software and technology, but you can get something. You can't stop the signal.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that's my understanding. I mean, it might not be that simple.
Okay.
For all three products. Are you serious? The Microsoft decided they're gonna go. Why did they should have bought product. I would have been more okay with them giving money to Oculus Rift. Actually, maybe not. I take that back. I would more vote Facebook.
No, I'm saying though. Okay, so Facebook has done some technology as far as their a while back they had as far as their eye technology.
Yes,
where
it's not,
not the eye, but the
paper. Facebook.
No,
paper.
it was the mouse. Or if you put your mouse over something, it'll act like essentially a click. Like you looked at it, like you did whatever. You can click on it, but you were wondering what it was. So the only thing I would see Facebook doing would be using this with, I don't know, maybe they have Facebook Facebook Oculus Edition, whatever. So where you use your eyes to
Facebook feed.
You use your eyes to view stuff and to look at things, and it attracts your eyes to see links and whatever, and that's how it would do. It may be a Facebook app. It may Facebook comes out with a phone, later on, which I believe they did.
God.
I'm saying
that was rumored. It was rumored, and it probably went into development. I don't see. God damn it! I wouldn't want a Facebook phone.
I'm saying if Facebook comes up with a phone or any type of technology, it has a connection with Oculus Rift, so you can be on your phone, whatever, or playing a game or whatever you want to do with it, and be with the Oculus Rift, connection.
Yeah, I can see that. It could, like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
it could be it could be good, it could be bad, it could be a saint, it can be the devil. Only time will tell. I can see though the backlash, because if I back an indie project, I'm backing it because I believe in you. Now, if Facebook backs it, there's the influence there, possible influence there. Now, Mark Zuckerberg says, he's actually gone in a file and said, I don't care about gaming. Well, he didn't say I don't care about gaming. He says, I just want to bring this technology more into the future, as in like education and media service. So, he's saying what needs to be said to keep people like, okay, I can see how this works out. But again, no one gives away money for free. I mean, they might have some ulterior motive, They might not.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. We'll see how this turns out. Ultimately, I think it's a win for the Oculus Rift. Well, obviously, fucking $2 billion. I want $2 billion. But
yeah,
it's a win for the Oculus Rift in the sense that they now have a fighting chance against Morpheus, which I was pretty much counting on it to beat the Oculus Rift into another Ouya, essentially. Okay. I mean, Ouya, great product. It's going against the big Joes. Oculus Rift was going to be going against the big Joes. But now it has a fighting chance, is where I'm at.
I gotcha.
And we're probably going to have to
all right, on that note, sign out. What we're going to do next, after we stop recording this, we're going to do our first ever 2 guys, 1 trailer.
2 guys, 1 trailer.
Speaking of porn.
It's going to be fun.
It'll just be Sadri doing that while I watch the trailer. It'll be we're going to be watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Teenage Ninja Turtles!
And Sachi's wearing his Turtle Power shirt.
Turtle Power, you can't see me, but I got my green shirt on. So
what does that say?
So let's talk about this shirt. I bought this shirt at the Long Beach Comic Con, and there was supposed to be a world record thing on March 28th for all of us to wear shirts and I guess post them in Facebook and whatever. I forgot to do that shit. It was 3 days ago apparently, and I was like, damn, I'm such a terrible person. Well, in my defense, I bought this shirt last fucking year, and I just forgot.
That's why you set a reminder on your phone.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're on Facebook.
Ben talked about Facebook, but yeah, I got my Turtle Power shirt. I got to sit down in the Ninja Turtle van. You know how awesome that is?
I'm not sure.
It's like a childhood dream come true. So let's. I don't want to get into details. So this is Dre and Taylor signing out. GGWP. Catch us every week. You can catch me on my website, which is still under development and construction. I've been having troubles with that fucking site, but projectgs.org. That's project the letter G the letter S.org. You can catch Taylor and all his stuff. Where at
the THG or TrioGeeks.com. It'll go the same place. Catch me on Xbox, Twitter, as well as Instagram. All the same thing, all the same name. Demonol, DEMONOL. And for some reason my Xbox is now turned on now. That's very weird.
Xbox off.
Actually, Xbox turn off. Anyway, we'll do the second. Anyway, you want to give anything else you want to say?
Dick Starbuck, but I suck at gaming, so don't bother playing with me.
All right, on that note, we'll see you later.
Peace. Damn, I have to take a piss though.